Imagine you're a Minecraft newbie. You just scraped up enough money to buy Java Edition, and you have no idea how to even use WASD, let alone build a freaking farm. And don't think that this is an impossible situation, because this just happened to my friend Devin, and I had to teach him how to farm. Not everyone is dream right away, which is fine. If you know literally nothing about Minecraft, then this is for you. To build the world's most simplest farm, you need these things. A hoe. A hoe is the magical tool that you must have for farming. You can craft it by gathering 2 sticks and 2 ores in this formation on the crafting table. If you really like farming, you can upgrade a diamond hoe to a netherite one and scare the crap out of yourself at 4 in the morning. You can use a hoe on these 3 blocks only, so if you were thinking of making a farm on anything else, then think again. Their main function is turning dirt into farmland, as you cannot build a farm on dirt. Their only other function is turning weird dirt into regular dirt, but no one even really cares about that. After you've got your hoe, now you have to get seeds! There are 8 kinds of seeds that you can collect and put onto farmland. Wheat seeds, melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, beetroot seeds, torchflower seeds, pitcher pods, carrots, and potatoes. And now I won't be talking that much about torchflower seeds or pitcher pods. Those are like sniffer things. I don't really know much about them, but I'm pretty sure they apply just as much as the other ones do. Typically, wheat is the easiest crop to farm because you get the seeds by literally just punching the ground. To get melons, pumpkins, beetroots, carrots, and potatoes, you can typically find them growing in a village farm. For specifically melons, you can also find them in jungles, and you can also find pumpkins in groups in grassy biomes. Beetroots have a 20% chance of being found in desert villages and a 5% chance in plains villages. Carrots have a 30% chance of being found in plains villages and a 10% chance in a snowy village. And potatoes have a 70% chance of being found in a snowy village, 15% in a plains, and 10% in a taiga. Once you have seeds, all you have to do is just plant them on the farmland. Keep in mind that melons and pumpkins grow differently than other crops, growing adjacent to their seed instead of in the spot the seed was planted. If you're impatient like me, you can use bone meal to speed up the process. It's also important to know the stages of growing so you don't break the crop too soon. If you break the crop too soon, then it's just gonna drop the crop and you're not gonna get more of it like if you would if it was matured. Typically, the crop will change color and look a bit taller once it has matured. Once the crop is fully grown, then just break it and you will receive your crop and or the seeds you can use to plant more. Carrots and potatoes are their own seeds, so you can replant them both by using itself as the seed. Wow, now you know how to farm! If you notice that you have too many seeds or excess crops from all that farming you just did, do not let them rot in your chest. Instead, let them rot in a composter. A composter is a block used to turn seeds and crops into bone meal, which you can then use to speed up the growth of your farm. They are always found in villages because they are the job site of farmers, which I will talk about later. They can also be crafted by placing slabs in an upside down pants formation in the crafting table. All you have to do is place the seed or crop into the composter and it'll make a green particle. Once you've reached the 7th layer, the composter will be filled up to the top and you can collect the bone meal by using it one more time. Quick tutorial! 4 hoppers, 4 chests, 2 composters. Dig 2 blocks deep into the ground and place 1 double chest. On top of the chest, crouch and place 2 hoppers, making sure their thing is connecting to the chest like this. Place 2 composters on top of the hoppers, also crouching so you don't open up the menu. Place 2 more hoppers with their little tail thing into the composters. Double chest on top. If you can't place the double chest due to crouching, then make sure there's a block behind it just like this. Place what you want into the composter and watch as it makes bone meal into the chest below. This is a list of items you can put into a composter. And no, you cannot put a poisonous potato into a composter because it will clog up the whole entire freaking thing. I know that from experience. Make sure to keep some composters for later because they have another function when trading with villagers. Watering your farm! Watering your farm is so important to know because it doubles the speed of your crop growth, and it's surprisingly forgotten by many people who think that they know what they're doing with their farm. Most people completely forget to put a water source near their farm, which makes the farmland dry up if there aren't any crops on it, and it slows down the growth by a lot. Others do this strip design like how you see in villages, which is more ideal but not as efficient as it could be. 1 block of water irrigates up to 4 blocks around it, so instead of creating a strip of water, you could be using those blocks for more farmland. A perfect farm in my opinion is 19 blocks by 19 blocks with a water source in each corner, in the middle of each side, and 1 in the middle. This way, strips of 4 crops are next to each other, which is much more efficient than a water source every 4 blocks. Now that your farm is properly irrigated, you can start fancying it up. If you don't want you or your crops to fall into the water holes, then place a slab onto the top part of the water hole so the water stays but you don't have to worry about anyone or anything falling in. And to make sure nothing spawns on your farm at night, place torches or lanterns on top of the slabs. I would recommend lanterns so when you're farming your farm, you don't break the torches. A light source is also important because farms need a light level of 9 or more to grow, so your crops can grow in the nighttime or underground. I'll talk more about accelerating the growth of your farm in a little bit. The most efficient farm layouts! We already talked about the most efficient layout for crops that grow normally, but what about pumpkins and melons? At the moment, this is the most efficient layout for pumpkins and melons. Keep in mind, the glowstone blocks are water holes. As for sugarcane, which is a crop that not many people farm, you can only place it on grass or sand and the block has to be next to water, so this is currently the most efficient layout. Make sure to cover all of your water blocks with slabs because they can easily fall through the holes.
How to make your farm grow faster.
There are a bunch of ways to make your farm grow faster besides watering it that you probably haven't heard of before.
Light levels!
A light level of 9 or more is needed for crops to grow, which is important if your farm is underground or you like to farm at night. Make sure your area is
Alternating crops!
This one is so popular that even villagers are doing it. Crops that are next to a different kind of crop are known to grow faster than fields of the same crop, so place your crops in alternating rows. Bees! Put a bunch of beehives on one side of your farm and flowers on the other. Boom! The bees are gonna pollinate your farm and make it grow even faster.
What?
Now I'm gonna talk about what you can put on your hoe so you can get even more crops.
Fortune!
Even though some items aren't affected by fortune, such as sunflowers or bookshelves, hoes with fortune are very useful when collecting more crops, increasing drop numbers significantly. Something you should know about fortune in crops is that it only affects the number of plantable seeds rather than the crop itself. Okay, so the next 10 seconds of this, I explained in a really weird way that I don't think anyone's gonna understand, so I'm gonna redo it right now. Basically, fortune only affects the amount of seeds dropped instead of the amount of the crop dropped, but some crops are their own seed, so it drops them because they are the seed. If that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense, but just go with it. Another thing you should know about fortune in crops is that it doesn't work on pumpkins, which will only drop 1 pumpkin no matter what enchantment is on your tool.
How to get rich farming!
Although collecting sticks and making an iron farm are both very efficient ways to get emeralds, farming is my favorite way. There's something calming about breaking crops and planting them back that I like more than breaking a tree or sitting AFK. Once you have all of your crops, you can start selling them to farmers. Here's a quick tutorial on how to gather farmers. Find a village and grab a villager that isn't useless. Put him in a boat, in a minecart, or just find a way to get him to your base. Trap him forever inside of a villager trading hall or wherever you want to access him. In my case, I built a villager trading hall because I'm extra like that, but you can do whatever you want. Literally just click on him, click on the trade, and then trade with him. It's not that hard. To trade faster, click on the trade that you want, hold shift click on the emerald, and then shift spacebar to refill the slot. Literally just spam click and spacebar with shift held until all of the item is gone or you buy the villager out of stock. I'll make a more in-depth video on how to trade with villagers if you guys want because it's pretty easy once you learn it. I hope you learned something about farming today, or at least had a good time watching this video as I spend a lot of time perfecting them.